All right, what's going on, guys? Today, this is GLG Garrett coming at you with a deck profile for blue, purple, Reiju. Everyone's super excited about this deck right now. Ever since the ban list came out, banning RP Law, that was the only really bad matchup we had. Uh, Essentially an unwinnable matchup, but sometimes you could squeak away a win. And so, yeah, let's just get right into it. So Reiju, her effect is when you return a Dawn, you draw one card once per turn. So super good generic effect, 4 life leader, and yeah. So the what people were doing when Law was around is this leader did get a couple tops. They were rocking with the Porsche in the build. So let's check that out. So this is kind of like a general build. I don't think a lot of people are running the Yonjis, but when I was playtesting it, I did just because I really like this card. I really like having another playable body off leader, off the Porsche. I feel like in Law it's pretty helpful. And then it just makes that judge play a little more effective against Law too, getting down and done. Um, the problem I have with Porsche post Law is that although it provides a lot of tempo for the deck, you end up Dawn minusing so much that against decks like Enel, it makes it really hard to, you really can't swing over anything. I think Bonney also was in my testing kind of tough. Once they get those bigger bodies out or like 8 drop kid, and you're sitting at 4 Dawn, it's pretty tough to do anything. So yeah, so I kind of want to explore the option of taking Porsche out and kind of going back to the OG build a little bit. Um, the other problem I had with Porsche is I felt like it just made the deck a little less consistent. I felt like you had just less wiggle room with the cards you could play, especially with people not running the Yonji. Um, I've seen people running Queen and then maybe some extra 2Ks or something. Um, making the deck even less consistent. So, uh, yeah. So let's go back to the post Porsche profile. So post Porsche, what did we add and what did we take out? So I took out the Gina, obviously, because there's it does nothing for the deck. I added 2 of these Sanji promos. Just another searchable body, also playable off Judge if you really had to. If it's in your trash and you have an empty board, you might as well play it out, right? So I added 2 of those. I added 1 Gion for the Nami matchup. I feel like it's not necessary to have this in the deck, in my opinion. I feel like Nami is a relatively favorable matchup for us, but I feel like going forward, Nami's gonna be a lot more relevant, a lot more present, and like just from the this past set, OPO7, it just got a lot stronger, um, especially without loss. So I just feel like we're gonna end up seeing Nami a lot more often. So that's why I just threw in the 1 Gion. If you see it and you get it out, it's really hard for the Nami to win. Yeah, and then so I kept these choppers. I just think that this adds a ton of utility to the deck. Having the chump blocker is super nice. Having the ability to ramp is really nice. So at the end of the day, if it's not a blocker, it's a 2 cost ramp one. If it's not ramping, it's a chump blocker. So although it's not searchable, I think that's okay. The majority of the deck is. So we got like 4, 6, 9, 10. Yeah, 10 unsearchable targets. So we're really not realistically we're not gonna whiff. Um, I've I've really wanted to cut this pudding down to 2. But I feel like when it's at 2, I end up bottom decking it so often off the stage search that it kind of needs to be at 3 so that you can kind of draw into it naturally more often. And this is one of those cards that you need to see it at a specific time or else it's useless, right? So, Black Yellow Luffy, this card is massive. Um, Nami can come up really clutch too if they Sanji's peel off. They start getting a hefty hand size. 8 or 9 cards. You play this, you're adding 3 or 4 cards back to their deck, which is huge, right? So sticking with 3 Nami, and then 2 of these Sanji blockers. Um, it's a 2K, right? Um, it's not searchable, but I just feel like this card also has so much utility because you're almost always at 2 or fewer Dawn. And so just being able to throw this out for 3 Dawn, in those situations where you just need a blocker, super clutch. So I'm keeping this at 2. I think if anything, I would cut one of these promo Sanjis and add a either another Gion or a Sanji. So and then lastly, the Yonjis. I have always really liked this card. I know some people are just not fans of it. I just think that it makes the judge play so much more effective, and especially with the kind of build we're going with now, we're we're semi-reserving Dawn. We're playing out these bodies, right? You're playing Ichiji on or Niji on 5, and then playing a chopper, right, to stay at 5, go to 7 next turn, or you're playing Ichiji on 6 and then playing out the chopper. So you're really reserving Dawn so that you could play the judge. And so, with that playstyle in mind, I think that the Yonji becomes super important, just to have the extra body to play out. And at the end of the day, it's a 2 or 4 cost blocker with 6,000 power, which in my opinion is really good. And 1K counter. So, and then the other thing is I added one more searcher event. Um, I mean, it's never really a dead card in hand. You could always pitch it with the Kingdom, trigger, draw 1 card, and then it just kind of helps you find the Ichiji, the little one or big one when you need it. It really just makes a lot more plays possible. So I know like OPO6, I think almost everyone had 4 of these in their deck. But kind of trying to make some room for like the choppers and whatnot. The other thing you'll notice is not running any Kayas. That was a big 2K in this deck in the old format. I just feel like this Sanji just offers a little more utility for me. Personally, just having the option to play it out as a blocker, um, the Sanji being searchable, and the Gion for the Nami matchup. But realistically, this is like a $25 card, so this could easily be replaced with 2 Kayas or just one Gion, one Sanji. So yeah, that's it for the deck profile. So let's get into some gameplay. We got a few games against some meta leaders, so let's get right into that. All right, guys. So first video we got Reiju versus Bonney. We're going first. Really good starting hand. Really good start to the game. Trash the Ichiji. Grab little Ichiji, pass. So I'm going to see if we could play something out this turn. We get the Yonji, so we can play that out. And swing 6. So pretty good start to the game. It's always good to get character turn 2. And then not playing out the Porsche or anything allows us to be at 4 Dawn next turn. Granted, if we had the Porsche, we could have played the Ichiji out. So, it's kind of give and take. All right, so we get the judge. So now I'm thinking, all right, we gotta get this out ASAP. Yeah, I always like to have at least 2 Ichijis. Probably gonna swing with the Yonji first, because he's just gonna rest it anyways, and then get the swing off with Ichiji. Pudding's also really good in this matchup. Bonney usually likes to take to start the game, so. Alright, then we get a chopper. Okay, so he counters that one. Maybe playing around the pudding a little bit. Or he's just super bricked up. So we might want to get the chopper out next turn. For the block, thinking, okay, probably Cavendish coming this turn. So This Niji is just not very important right now. And X-Drake. I remember this kind of threw me off because I don't I don't remember if Bonney's really playing X-Drake that much. Um, so probably gonna swing. Okay, 7. I'm thinking swing 8 would be better, and then try to get the pudding. No, swing 7, and then I'm pretty sure I pudding to save Dawn. Let's see. Otherwise, I can go. I don't think I have a Reiju in my trash. Because otherwise, I can go Reiju and then Chopper. Yeah. So pudding's the play and then pass. So we're going into 7 Dawn next turn. That means we could play out a body and then still play Judge, which is always really nice. I think right here, if he swings at the Ichiji, I just let it die. Since we are going to plan on playing, it just depends how big he swings, I guess. Probably going to put the Rage counter with the Reiju. Okay, swings 9. I'm pretty sure, yeah, just let it go. Take a hit from the X-Drake, yeah. Okay, get a Sanji. So we're feeling pretty healthy in hand size. Definitely going to play out that Ichiji this turn. I'm just trying to think. I think I go maybe 6 lead, Ichiji, and then Chopper. Yeah. So then that allows us to go to 9 next turn for the Judge. Yeah, so counters the 6. He knows what's coming. He knows what's coming. Minus the X-Drake. Probably swing over it. Yep, lets it die. Don't need pudding anymore. Okay. So we're still searching for a Reiju. But at this point, we've been through a decent amount of the deck. We're going to get the search off next turn, and then we always get the draw off of Judge. So I'm not really tripping about it. It's also not the end of the world if we don't get the Reiju, or the Reiju out. Okay, so pretty strong turn for him. Not gonna lie. So I think we maybe swing first. He's gonna rest the Chopper. And then that way when we play out the Ichiji, it'll stay active, or he won't be able to rest our Yonji or our leader. And then we just trash the Chopper. So let's see what we get. Okay, we don't find it. We already have a Yonji in our trash. Probably don't need another one. And just kidding. Apparently we do. Okay, we go Judge. Oh, I guess because we're going to trash it right now anyways. Definitely Ichiji, Yonji. And we could play the Niji. Oh, might as well play the Niji over the Chopper. Keep the other Ichiji on the field. I remember right here I was thinking, do I play out the Reiju? No. It's not really a ton of value right now. We don't really need it. Let's see. So yeah, like I was saying, guys, Bonney can be really tough. This guy definitely had a interesting build. A lot of the 5-drops. I think he's going for the Rosinante build. So I definitely think that the 8-drop kid hurts us a lot more. Um, just because it's an 8K body and don't we don't generally have that large of attacks or that much Dawn to spare. Um, However, I will say though, if we can get out the Niji to pop like a blocker, return it to hand, and then maybe a Ichiji or to reduce it, then we're pretty much good. Okay, right here he's just going for game, so I'm just taking because I know I already won. At this point, it doesn't really matter. And yeah, so pretty decent game right there. Not too, not too crazy. And it looks like he just had all bricks in his hand. So, oh, he did have the 8 drop. All right, this one we got Reiju versus Black Yellow Luffy. We're going second. We have Pudding, and we Mole. Okay. So this hand is actually better. We have Stage and we have Ichiji. Get another Ichiji. So we're set up pretty decently. If we can get little Ichiji out next turn, we're sitting pretty good. And there it is. So we're feeling pretty confident. What I like to do with in this Black Yellow Luffy matchup is kind of get them down relatively quickly to 2, and then just kind of outlast them a little bit, like rush them down so they don't feel comfortable playing, certain bodies. Just kind of mess with their gameplay. Yeah. So I'm gonna first trash the Ichiji, grab Yonji. I like having the blocker option in this matchup. Once they get those geckos out and whatnot. Okay, and we do have a Pudding, so I'm thinking here he either takes the life or counters. Either one is fine. Okay, he counters with the Sabo. Yeah, so they have to respect the Pudding, and so it kind of causes them to do things that they're not super comfortable with, probably. Okay, 7 with Garp. So I don't really love taking life here. I like to stay kind of healthy. So let's see. Okay, pitch the Yonji. Yeah, we're kind of the Yonji is mostly there for the judge play. So I have no problem trashing it. Probably take the Reiju here. We already have Yonji in our trash, so we don't need another one. So I think maybe we go 8 into 7 into life, and then Pudding. Yeah, that's gotta hurt, So Pudding's just super powerful card, especially in this matchup. You get them down to 2, and then you take 3-4 cards out of their hand. Pretty rough. So let's see. Probably counter this. And then next turn we could always play out the Chopper. Okay, he pops the Pudding. Okay. I don't like to take them to 0 just because it's a little too free for them, especially when they get to that 10 Dawn. I don't want him to just be able to Gecko. But he is on an odd curve, so I don't think I take him to 0. Let's see. So start at the easy 5. I'm pretty sure what I'm thinking right here is play out Ichiji and then play out Chopper for the blocker. And then keep one Ichiji standing. Yeah. Yeah, and then when we have the two 7Ks, so right now we're at 7 Dawn. We're going down to 6. Play the chopper, we'll go back to 7, then be at 9 next turn. So even if he does get lead ability off, we'll have 9 Dawn and you know, two 7K swings coming in. So feel pretty good about that. And then, okay, so I take him to 0. I think I did that because he's on an odd curve and he can't Gecko this turn. If you were on an even curve, I for sure would not do that. And let's see what he does. He gets, I think, Little Luffy and Big Luffy. Yeah. At this point, I think he only has one Sabo in his trash, so... Okay, he just concedes, so... Yeah, he didn't have double Sabo, and he knew I was just gonna win the next turn. He did have a good amount of counter, but... yeah, I was sitting pretty good, so... Kind of makes sense. Yeah, let's get into the next gameplay footage. Alright, and then this video we got Reiju versus Cat. We're going first. Keep this because we have stage and a body. Of course, grab Ichiji. Pass. So Cat is a pretty favorable matchup for us because we can kind of rush him down. I'm including this because I feel like a lot of people are going to go back to Katakuri. Okay, I take the Niji, I'm pretty sure, because he just got the Peril Sparrow. And I like being able to just bounce that back to hand. Nice. Yeah, so I feel like Katakuri will be a little more present now that Law is gone. So that's why I wanted to include this video. I definitely think it'll be a a meta relevant deck going forward. And this was playing on the OP Bounty ranked, so I played a bunch of games, and to be honest, I couldn't get any games against Lucci or Anel, which was kind of strange. So I just went with these. We're just gonna bounce the Peril Sparrow back to hand. Yeah, you really want to pressure their life. Nice. And then, yeah, this is like huge for, it's a huge tempo play for us. Lucci's a little better now without stage, I will say. That kind of allowed them to remove most our bodies pretty easy. Now it's pretty hard to get rid of the Ichiji without like an Ice Age. Let's go 7. I think go 7, 6, 7. Yeah. Okay, so you use 2 1Ks to get out of that, so feeling pretty solid right now. And then our hand size is also pretty big. We're probably not going to get to play Judge this game. It's a little too slow, a little too stally for what we're trying to do. Let's see, he does get the Kikunojo trigger, which is kind of worries me a little bit. Let's see, so we counter this for sure. See what he does. I know I can always play another Ichiji next turn, so I don't mind if he swings over that. But I want to keep the Niji out. Yeah. Yeah, so he goes 9. We'll let it go, I believe. Oh, no. Oh, that's right. I think at first I thought he was going to play a 7 Mom. But he didn't. So at this point, we have a really good board presence. And I know he used 2 1Ks to get out of that 6K last turn. So now I can get this out of there. And then just swing face. And then we pretty much have game from that point on. All he needs though is a trigger body, and it makes this completely different game. If he got like another Kikunojo off, that'd be pretty rough. Yeah, and then if he, okay, that's fine. And then if he gets, like if he 10 moms, he loses, right? So, yeah, it's also way different now. Back when I used to play Reiju, Cat still had access to reject. So in that instance, I would actually be pretty worried right now, because he could just go like, 8-8 reject swing or something crazy. So we let that go. Swings into life. And at this point, I'm pretty sure he's going to 10 mom. So we're pretty much chilling. He would just need some nutty trigger, which does happen. But it's not the same as a Nell. Like, I feel like a Nell just gains so many life back that their opportunity for triggers are a lot crazier. And then I do have the little Ichiji in hand, so I'm not too worried. So I swing 8 just so he can't counter that, and then it allows me to just go big. And then if he, triggered something, then go Ichiji. So pretty good game. Cat's still a favorable matchup for us. All right, guys, so that's going to be the end of today's video. The deck profile and some gameplay on blue-purple Reiju without the Porsche, kind of geared towards a post-banless, OPO 7 going into OPO 8. I did check out some OPO 8 ideas. I think that going into 8, I would actually stick with this build. There's not a lot of new cards that change a ton for us. Maybe we throw in the Black Maria, but I think with the Chopper, we're doing pretty good on Dawn anyways. So, I think if you play the Porsche build in OPO 8, I think the Black Maria would be a good card to have in there. And that might end up being the move going forward, since we have access to that. But yeah, let me know what you guys think in the comments section. Let me know if there's any text you like for your Reiju deck. Let me know if you like the Porsche build better, and let us know why you think it's better. Curious what you guys feel like are the toughest matchups, easiest matchups for Reiju. Yeah, I think this is a really fun deck. Personally, I think the draw power and the consistency of the deck is part of what makes it so strong, and I do think that it'll be a tier 1 deck post-ban going forward. So yeah, as always, guys, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and share with a friend. And GLG out.
Soundstripe.